Illinois State's aware of it, and the Valley is starting their television schedule here, and they'll end it here in Redbird Arena.
Illinois State wins the tip in their home whites. Indiana State showing man-to-man early on. Illinois State not shy about the three, and we know Indiana State isn't either.
Well, both teams are going to put it up, and they're so similar in their styles. They shoot quickly. They play full-court defense.
Holly Hallstrom, the easy two for the junior from Moline, Illinois. Indiana State is not shy about the three like we talked about. This is a team that at times has relied on the three this year after their very good start at 7-2. And there's a three left side off the mark, pulled away by the Redbirds. They want to run. Can't finish, but there is Hallstrom again, and it's 4-0.
Well, and that was Jim Wheaty's concern, is letting the Birds score in transition. That is by far their strength.
Fans want to travel. They don't get it. This is Ashley Clark, and they'll reset the offense. Baglin with the basketball.
Sorry, Dan. Both teams are showing a lot of zone right now. The Birds out in a matchup 2-3 right now. It's surprising that teams are playing zone against good three-point shooting opponents.
Lish got it inside, and the two for Ashley Clark, the junior, their top rebounder and top point producer with 14 points per game. And there's a steal, the pressure by Indiana State after the make, and now they've got numbers, 2-on-1. Can they finish? No, they turn it over. And it's Katie Donovan the other way for Illinois State. Three right side, and it's knocked down by Jackie McCormick.
McCormick with a record 6 threes in her last game, tied a Redbird Arena record.
That was against Illinois, 144 threes that she has made in her career with that last make. That's number 2 in Redbird history.
Well, an assist here by Katie Donovan, but that's what the Redbirds do well. They're going to get the ball, shoot it quickly, and there's no question they want to shoot before they turn it over.
Stay around at halftime for the Cardinal Glennon halftime report. Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, where our love for kids just keeps on growing. 7-2, Illinois State. First half early on with the lead. Joe Hutchison, Dan McLaughlin, as we tip off the Missouri Valley Conference television package this afternoon. Glad you could join us from Redbird Arena. Good look inside, and almost a chance at a three-point play. That nearly dropped in, but going to the line for Indiana State will be Rachel Minpaw.
Minpaw definitely had a chance to finish that nice pass by Beglin. Melanie Beglin has just become so much more of a full player. She's learning to play outside herself, and I think that's so important for a point guard.
Minpaw averages 8 a game from Watertown, Wisconsin. Only a sophomore, 6'1". 1 of 2 from the free throw line. The miss is pulled away. The rebound by Shelton. Here's McCormick.
Indiana State in the matchup also.
Good look inside to Hallstrom. She has 6. Burhoff the other way for Indiana State. Lish with the look inside, little right-hander floater. Falls for Ashley Clark, the junior.
Clark, a transfer from Kent State. This is a player that sat there for a year waiting for her opportunity, and has really had an impact on the Sycamore program.
Jim Wheaty, very familiar with Kent State, former coach, assistant there. Inside, it's off the side of the backboard, pulled away by Illinois State. Illinois State with a lead 9-5 in the first 3 minutes of this game.
It continues to amaze me how similar these two programs are in their style.
Body foul as Donovan was hit on the baseline. She's on the floor, slow to get up.
Indiana State foul on 25.
Katie Donovan played on the Canadian national team last summer, had a leg injury there that prohibited her from really finishing out that season.
Minpaw whistled for the foul. She'll have a seat for Indiana State. Inbound is in. The lefty lets it fly, and they rattle in their second three of the afternoon. Megan McCracken.
Megan McCracken's another player who transferred from another D1 program, Iowa State, and had to sit out last year. Has had a huge impact now on the Redbird program.
She's on fire if you take into account the last two games and this one. Now 10 of 16 from three-point territory for McCracken. Jumper no good. Donovan pulls it away, the senior for the Redbirds.
Katie Donovan really has had to learn how to share the basketball this year with this Redbird team.
Blocked away as Donovan was going hard towards the goal, and 4 fresh bodies in now for Indiana State. They'll go about 8 or 9 deep in a ball game.
I think both teams are good 8 deep, and I think to be competitive, you've got to be that deep right now.
McCormick the inbound for Illinois State. Field goal shooting. You see Indiana State 2 of 5. Illinois State red hot to start this game, 5 of 6. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Looking inside, stolen away, a turnover. Back to the Sycamores. Gustafson with the basketball, swing it left side to Weddle.
Gustafson's a young lady that started her college career here in Bloomington, Illinois, playing for Illinois Wesleyan in soccer.
Late whistle on that call and a 2-shot foul with 15:40 to play first half. Amber Shelton whistled for the foul for Illinois State. And we step aside. We'll take a quick timeout as we just get this thing. Valley telecast our next Valley game. Miss at the free throw line by the Sycamores, Nikki Hall, a senior from West Columbia, South Carolina.
Jim Wheaty's going to his bench really early. He had some problems in their last game with, well, not the last game, but 2 games ago, William & Mary, where his starters just couldn't get going. He went to his bench and turned the game around.
McCracken across the timeline, another steal for Indiana State. We've seen a few of those already in the first couple of minutes here.
4th steal for Indiana State, 4th turnover for the Redbirds.
Missed shot underneath, but the offensive rebound by Hall. Loose basketball, it's taken away by Illinois State. This is McCormick. No look pass, nice dish, right block, off the glass. You got it. That's McCracken, her 4th point.
I would guess Birds are scoring most of their offense in transition rather than against that half court.
Leading scorer so far, Holly Holstrom of Illinois State with 6. Here's Hall again. And a body foul inside against Rachel Minpaw. Or rather, check that.
Nikki Hall, I think.
Yeah, they're going to say it's offensive foul on Hall. So back to Illinois State. Fresh substitutions in the ball game for the Sycamores.
I think Indiana State set their starters down, let them watch for a minute, and bringing them all right back on the floor here.
Illinois State is shooting 75% so far, 6 of 8 to start this ball game as they easily break the pressure. .14.5 to play first half. On the baseline, now they kick it out. Open look, she can knock it down. That's McCormick, the miss. Loose basketball off of the Sycamores. That'll stay with Illinois State.
Good effort for both teams on the boards. And the impressive part is the guards are all going to the basket, trying to get that rebound. Indiana State and a man, they're typically a zone team.
McCormick will inbound. Taken there by McCracken.
I take that back. Indiana State is playing that zone. I think they're just showing man.
Off of certain timeouts.
Exactly.
The miss by the lefty left side. McCormick, though, picked up the loose basketball. Good defense underneath by Indiana State.
That was by Rudolphi, a freshman for the Sycamores, who has really had an impact. In fact, we have the 3 newcomers of the week on the floor right now.
And 2 of them from Indiana State. Right. Rudolphi, the latest addition for the MVC newcomers. A whistle. And it's a foul. That'll go against the Sycamores. Beglin.
Beglin wasn't real tickled with that call, I don't think. That looked pretty clean there. That's amazing that she averages 5 steals a game.
Yeah, and that's tops in the country. 45 steals already. She had 17 points the last time these two teams met, which was in the postseason tournament last year.
4 steals for the Sycamores. They average 14 a game. They're well on their way to make their average. They're ranked 10th in the nation as a team in steals.
The Kraken is double teamed, looking for help, trying to find it. Loose basketball, and a timeout is given.
I'm not sure who called that exactly.
Jim Weedy is saying, what about 5 seconds? Good defense, though, by his Sycamores as we step aside. The MVC presented by State Farm. Here, coach, Robin Pinchton. Illinois State a record of 3-6, but off to a good start, leading this ball game 14-6.
Both teams going to their benches early. The Redbirds now with 2 new players, Tiffany Hudson and LaShawn Johnson on the floor.
Indiana State, they wanted the offensive foul. They don't get it. And now it's Illinois State leading by double figures, 16-6. Just inside the arc, the miss pulled away, though, by Indiana State. Midpaw couldn't get it to fall, and it's back to the Redbirds.
Ashley Clark continues to impress. You know, she started off with some great stats, and the Valley hasn't seen her yet, but she obviously has some range and can also play under the basket.
Here's Hudson, dribbles into a double team, jump ball, and it's back to Indiana State.
Well, that's going to be a turnover for the Birds, and a steal in there by Melanie Beglin, who just comes up and gets her hands all over the ball. Well, and going against a freshman point guard, Tiffany Hudson, who wasn't quite ready for that trap.
3 right side, no good. Loose basketball pulled away by Midpaw. Inside, and they get it, and a chance at a 3-point play. That's Ashley Clark, the junior from Cincinnati. And she was the newcomer of the week 2 weeks ago.
She was, and she really did a nice job inside there. You know, she's probably not got quite as much muscle as the 2 Redbird players, and she had a great finish after a nice collision in there by the Birds.
Averages 14 to go along with 6 rebounds.
She's a kid that was on the all-freshman team in the MAC 2 years ago, transferred just for some comfort, I think, to Indiana State.
Completes a 3-point play. 16-9. The pressure getting to Illinois State. Boy, they have struggled with that pressure here in the early goings.
Well, if we go back to keys to the game, Illinois State's #1 key was to value the basketball,
right,
take care of it, and obviously that is an issue.
Katie Donovan has just checked back in for Illinois State. Zone here by Illinois State. Shot up, no good. Pulled away by Midpaw. Good ball movement here by the Sycamores. Another open look and another offensive rebound. Stripped away, though. And here come the Redbirds. McCormick gives it up. Beautiful dish, but they can't complete it. McCormick lost the handle again. Into the corner it goes. A 3 left side. Katie Donovan.
Strength of the Redbirds, they've got a whole lot of kids that can put that 3 up, and they're 3 perimeter kids that are on the floor. Donovan, McCormick, and the Kraken are all good.
Ashley Clark inside and answers. Full court pressure after the make by Indiana State. Trying to step through the double team and get a timeout. They finally get the timeout. Taken by Illinois State. Boy, they are struggling just to get the ball across the timeline. But yet they lead this ball game 19-11 with 11:35 to go.
Well, the Birds now have used 2 timeouts just to get themselves out of trap situations. They can't do that the entire ball game. That's going to be a problem as they go down the
and 16 against Illinois. Back-to-back double-digit threes for the first time in the history of this program.
Well, they're averaging almost 9 made 3-pointers a game. Another turnover by Katie Donovan on mishandling the ball.
Clark with 9 of Indiana State's 11 points so far. Leading scorer in this ball game. Holstrom with the 6 for Illinois State to lead the Redbirds. Zone shown by Illinois State.
Indiana State, you know, really not getting a lot of points off of turnovers right now. The Birds more than the Sycamores.
Swing it left side, an open look for 3, and it's drained. Melanie Beglin.
Beglin has been about a 33% shooter at the arc this year. She only takes it when she needs to. She really likes to give it up.
Again, the pressure getting to Illinois State. Now they break it, and they've got the numbers. 2-on-1. Tough pass to handle inside, but they do, and it's dropped in off the glass by Holstrom, her 8th point.
Illinois State, typically a pressing team, has not tried to press the Sycamores very much today.
Another 3. Beglin, no good. Kept alive, though. Another offensive rebound inside by Indiana State. That's been a factor so far. Stephanie Lish is on the board, the sophomore.
Indiana State really doing a nice job on the offensive boards, but have only scored 5 second-chance points so far.
Good entry pass inside. That's a travel. Travel by Holstrom. And a fresh 5 now for Indiana State off their bench.
Holly Hallstrom's 4 for 5 so far in this game, but she's gotten almost all of her points in transition the times the Birds have been able to break that full court pressure.
Just over 10 minutes to play. First half, 21-16 in favor of the Redbirds. The NBC Game of the Week presented by State Farm. A 3 right side, just almost everything. And it's pulled away by the Redbirds. Rebound to Holstrom. She gets it at the head of the key and swings it left side. This is McCormick. 15 on the shot clock. Trying to feed it inside. Another turnover.
Nice defense by Rodolphe. She was the newcomer of the year 3 weeks ago.
Double team on the baseline. Another 3. No good. McCormick pulls it away for the Redbirds. Jackie McCormick, a senior. From the elbow, good look, and a block inside.
Oh, Rodolphe is impressive as a freshman. She's got some long levers there and can get to a lot of balls.
It's 6'2", a freshman from Carlisle, Illinois. From the corner, why not? No one's guarding you, but did not draw iron.
That's Lindsay Galbraith, who just was cleared to participate yesterday following back surgery in June.
Here's Donovan, the leading scorer for Illinois State. And a whistle and a foul against Galbraith.
Galbraith's a young lady who didn't expect to play at all this season and has finally had a chance to get back on the court.
And ready to go. Proud sponsor of the NBC. Hanging in the lane. Can't get it to drop. That was Shelton. And here comes Indiana State the other way. 3 up, left side, no good. Had a hand on it, knocked out of bounds by Menpaw, and it's back to the Redbirds.
I think Menpaw got a little shove there by Heracus on that board, just knocked the ball out of bounds.
Indiana State has had some decent looks, but only 6 of 20. Shooting so far under 30%. Meanwhile, for Illinois State, 9 of 17. Shelton. Open look. Donovan knocks down the 3.
Well, there's no question that the Redbirds have not lost confidence in their non-conference schedule. They're shooting the ball as well as they have all season.
Coach Pitchton was telling us that prior to the game. Illinois State 4 of 5 from three-point territory, but back to that point, losing confidence has not been a factor so far, despite a record of just 3 and 6. The left hand by Stephanie Lish, and she's got 4.
Lish was one of the outstanding players last year, freshman of the year in the Valley.
McCracken pulls up and knocks it down from the free throw line.
Megan McCracken missed the first 3 games of the regular season with 2 stress fractures in her foot. Has come back very strong since then.
26-18. Illinois State on top of Indiana State. That time it drops for the Sycamores. Ashley Clark.
Clark now with 11 points out of the Sycamores 20. She's definitely put them on her back.
Sandstead in the front court. Donovan, another 3 is up off the back iron. Pulled away by Beglin. Beglin, some nifty moves. Good dish and the finish on the other end by Verhoff. Lisa Verhoff is on the board. Fans want to call, they don't get it.
A little nudge in there by Verhoff.
Illinois State's got to get it across the timeline.
There really isn't a timeline in the women's game because of the 30-second clock.
Let's take a look at the leading scorer coming into this game for Illinois State. That's Donovan.
And she has matured so much since her freshman year. It's really amazing. You can tell that she's talking much better on the floor. And I think for younger players, that's always a problem, but a necessity for a point guard.
Fairkiss is at the line, looking to get on the board, and she does. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Extends the lead for Illinois State, 27-22. At one point, it was 10 in this game.
And Sycamores are just edging back into this now.
Lish tries to force it inside. Illinois State has got it. McCormick. Turtuo. Young lady, a senior from Belgium, and a great story. We weren't sure if she was going to play today. She's in the game, and for the first time ever, her parents and her sister are here to watch her play.
That's kind of neat that she hit that first shot, too, and that's Sophie's strength, is right at that high post area.
Deep, deep 3, high arcing shot, and that's Ann Thatcher. She's on the board.
Thatcher's the kind of player, if she hits her first one, she could be really dangerous. She's only 3 for 5 now at 3-point range.
And a travel against Illinois State. Boy, Coach, they have really struggled to break that pressure.
That's amazing, but credit Indiana State. They really work hard in their traps and in their coverage off the ball. Illinois State's not leaving a passing option open.
Illinois State a lead of 4 with 5:15 to go in our first half of play. Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week presented by State Farm. Good look inside, off the glass, no good. Loose basketball kept alive on the great effort by Indiana State and Rachel Minpaw.
Well, that was a foul there by Megan McCracken going after that loose ball against Melanie Beglin. That's a heck of a matchup. Minpaw did a great job diving for that. You know, that's a drill a lot of coaches do, throwing the ball and seeing if kids can save it. Beglin did the right thing to follow her and have a chance for the tip out.
Off the screen, into the corner it goes. Another high arcing 3. Missed that time by Thatcher. Kept alive by Indiana State. A lot of offensive rebounds for the Sycamores. Another 3. No. Another offensive rebound. Yes. But it's tied up. Jump ball, and it's back to the Redbirds with 4:42 to play first half.
Nice tie-up in there by Sophie Turtuo. Her dad was a professional player in Belgium. She watched him. He's a point guard. She watched him as she was growing up. That's where she got interested in the game.
That's great. Dad in the stands and a chance to watch his daughter in action today.
Hey, there's a lot of players here today whose fathers are players. Yeah.
Turtuo had a good pass to Donovan, who could not complete it on the other end.
I think the fans thought there was a foul on that shot, but the official was standing right there. Both teams staying with their zone defenses pretty much in here, Dan.
Yep. Tried to force it inside a little bit to Clark, knocked out of bounds with 8 seconds on the shot clock for Indiana State.
Well, and Indiana State needs to keep trying to push it inside. They're 2 from 11 from the arc.
They try to go inside again. They turn it over, but it's going to be close to being out of bounds off of Illinois State, but they keep it alive. How about the effort there from McCracken? Here's Donovan looking for the open shooter. Turtuo has 5, and she wasn't even supposed to play today.
That's pretty exciting for her. You know, she had one game against Western Michigan 2 years ago. She had something like 14 points in about 9 minutes. She just lit it up.
The senior from Belgium. 15-footer knocked down by Clark and answers for the Sycamores.
Turtuo was on the Belgium junior national team, came to the States, though, just as an exchange student with no intention of doing a lot of basketball.
Another turnover back to Indiana State. Turtuo with 5 wins. Drake and Southern Illinois with early losses.
Well, there are a few surprises in the Valley. SMS picked number 1, Creighton 2, Illinois State 3. There's some new faces at the top.
Turtuo causes the turnover. Good for her. She's playing well. And a nice story here on the beginning of the year. 54% field goal percentage for Illinois State. Indiana State has struggled with some open looks. Ooh, that was almost a travel or a double dribble, but no call. You and I both saw that.
Yeah, it's all about where you are in the court, isn't it?
Yes, it is. McCormick inside the arc and knocks it down. McCormick with 5.
She's an unsung hero for that Redbird team. She gets a lot done for them. Well, it's surprising how much Gustafson is playing for the Sycamores. You know, she hasn't seen a whole lot of floor time. Beglin's sitting on the bench quite a bit today.
Here's Hall looking inside. Weddle. Another 3. That is off the mark. Turtuo pulls it away for the Redbirds. Irakis. Turtuo inside, partially blocked. Irakis gets it back. Good ball movement here. Shot up off the front of the iron, no good. And it's hit out of bounds.
Year set out a good portion of the time, and I think that's why the Sycamores never really got on track. She came back late in the season, but she has just been critical for them, especially three-point range. 40% shooter at the arc.
There she is, little pump fake and gives it up. Wants it back and she gets it. Veroff, under 10 on the shot clock. Got it inside, almost stripped away. Shot up is no good. Turtuo pulled it away. Here comes Illinois State. McCormick. Donovan, left side.
She's going to get caught for that hand check. You know, they're trying to get good ball pressure, and that's a tough compromise, keeping your hands off of them and still pressuring the ball.
Lish called for the foul. That's her first personal. And the 6th team foul against Indiana State.
Lish is another kid whose dad was quite an athlete. A quarterback at Notre Dame, played in the pros with the Bears and the Cards.
Rusty Lish. Inside and blocked. Fans wanted to travel, they don't get it.
Whoa.
Off the hands of Beglin and back to Illinois State.
I think Beglin saw Clark cut inside. She's ready for that assist. She just didn't quite catch it before she gave it up.
1 minute to play, first half. Double team, across the timeline, and another turnover. Good play. They keep it alive. Open. Turtuo. She's got 7.
I'll tell you, they're all taking turns on the steals right now. Indiana State doing a really nice job of trapping at different areas of the court and really catching the Birds out of position to play ball.
Here's Lish. And they answer inside. Rachel Minpaw. Shot clock is off, and we are down to 17 seconds as it's knocked out of bounds by Indiana State. So 17.4 to go. here in our first half. Substitution for the Sycamores. Into the ball game, Jackie Gustafson, a sophomore from Terre Haute. Beglin will have a seat. Inbound is in to Heracus. Now here's McCormick. 12 seconds to go. Turtuo thought about it. Takes it herself, gives it up. Good pass. But there's going to be a foul on the floor. That's going to go against Lisa Burhoff. With 8.2 seconds to play.
24, Lisa Burhoff. Her first one-and-one situation upcoming for Turtuo.
Turtuo at the line, the senior from Belgium. With 7 points, make it 8. Leading scorer for Illinois State. 37-29. Hits them both.
Now the substitution for the Redbirds, 24, Amber Shelton.
Amber Shelton back in the game. A nice round of applause for Turtuo. 8.2 seconds to go. 38-29. Gustafson for Indiana State. Gives it up. Clark off the side of the backboard, gets it back and knocks it down. Right before the buzzer. And it's 38-31 after the first 20 minutes of play in the Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week presented by State Farm. Very impressive first half for Turtuo. We weren't sure if she was even going to play. Well, she's got 9, the leading scorer for Illinois State. Clark, the leading scorer for Indiana State. She has 15 on 7 of 12 shooting. Let's check the Mercy Health plans for the second half and check in with Jill Hutchison. Coach?
Robin, you all have started off really strong, especially offensively. You're having a little trouble with the turnovers. What are your adjustments?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with our offense. Right now, we just got to take a deep breath and take care of the ball. I mean, I think we've got a tremendous backcourt and Jackie McCormick, Meg McCracken, and Katie Donovan. We just got a little flustered and started to make some silly turnovers. But you give Indiana State a ton of credit. They're scrappy, they're aggressive, and they're causing us some problems.
And defensively, your kids have really made a difference. You've held them under 40% scoring.
Yeah, I think we've done a decent job defensively. We've given up too many offensive boards. We got to do a better job of boxing out and trying to get some over the back calls. But for the most part, you got to be pleased with them only getting 31 points.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Jill.
First 52% in that first half. Indiana State will start with the basketball coach, and they shot only 38%. That's got to change in the final 20 minutes.
Well, their perimeter kids just haven't gotten on fire yet. They can definitely stroke the ball.
Let's see right here, left side, and that's how they started with a three-pointer. Lisa Verhoff. That's her 25th three already this season.
She's definitely the three-point hero out there. She's shooting 40% at the arc.
Can Illinois State break this pressure? They struggled with it in the first half.
Oh, my.
And the answer so far is no.
No.
Yep. We just found out. There's a quick look into what might happen here in that second half.
13th turnover by the Redbirds in this game so far. But Indiana State needs to convert now.
38-34. Illinois State at 1 point. They led by 10 in this ball game. Verhoff, a good pass inside. That's off the glass. No good. Knocked around. Ball is loose. About 8 hands on it. And possession arrow in favor of Illinois State. Let's check the first half numbers. Brought to you by Ameren, a legion of men and women making sure the night lights of the neighborhood flicker to life when called upon. Visit Ameren.com to learn more. 3-point field goals, 2 of 12 you saw there for Indiana State, and points off a turnover, 17 for Illinois State. Back to live action. Illinois State again turned the ball over, could not get it up the floor, and Indiana State could not knock down the shot, so now Illinois State has their first possession of the second half.
Indiana State is showing a man defense here, and again, you don't know if that's going to last or if they're just going to play this in spots.
Donovan picks up her dribble. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Good entry pass, but the quick hands knocked out of bounds. 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
It took the Redbirds a second to adjust to that man defense and get into a man offense.
Off the inbound, an open look, no. Loose basketball, tied up again, but Indiana State has it. Ball is loose, and it's going to stay with Indiana State.
I think the Sycamores were looking for a foul in there. Amber Shelton had her arms around Melanie Beglin with the ball. There's a pretty good Sycamore contingent here today. In fact, they've got a nice following on the road.
Very much so. Shot from 10 from the baseline is good. Menbaugh, the sophomore.
Well, the Sycamores are getting this game much closer. 2-point lead right now for Illinois State.
Almost a steal. Now they've got numbers. Great bounce pass. Right block off the glass, no good. Loose basketball picked up by Indiana State. A chance to tie or take the lead.
Well, Illinois State's a team now that's having trouble finishing. They've had 2 good looks on their last 2 possessions and not been able to put the ball down.
On the baseline, spinning. Count it! Game is tied and a chance to take the lead. Rachel Menbaugh. 38 all.
We talked about several other Sycamore players not stepping up, except for Ashley Clark. No one had scored more than 4 points in the first half, and all of a sudden now Verhoff gets a 3, Menpaugh's got 4, and the line for another one. So a lot of players are starting to make a difference. Illinois
State has led from the opening tip, but Indiana State on a 9-0 run, a chance to take their first lead in this ball game with 17:42 to play, and they can't.
Now the same thing happened to Illinois State against their in-state rival, Illinois, just prior to Christmas. They had a 16-point lead that they let slip away and lost the game by 10.
Here's Shelton. McCracken looking for help. McCormick under 10 on the shot clock. Fouled as she'll go to the line and shoot a couple.
You know, good adjustment by Jim Weedy to come out in a man defense. It hasn't allowed Illinois State to make any adjustments in a man. They hadn't seen it, so anything they talked about at halftime in their zone offense is almost mute at this point.
McCormick averages 11. She's from Idaho. Now with 6 in this ball game. It's both of them. 40-38 Illinois State. Baseline shot, can they answer? They do not. Pulled away by Illinois State. They trap immediately. Here's McCormick looking inside to Heracus. Head to the key for 3, and it's knocked down by McCracken, and it's a 5-point lead for Illinois State.
Illinois State does not have shy shooters. They're going to put that ball up any opportunity, and they're stroking it really well right now.
Open look, trying to answer, no good. Pulled away by Illinois State. Tertuo. Tertuo for 3, no. Hit out of bounds, back to the Sycamores. Couple of substitutions now for Indiana State.
Both teams are shuffling players in and out of this game fairly quickly, but both are playing at a pretty good pace, and they're trying to keep people fresh.
Let's take a look at the Marcia Wireless call of the game. Marcia Wireless, your communications consultant. Marcia Wireless now proudly carries Singular Wireless.
Well, the big thing is that Indiana State came out in that man defense. They showed a zone and then immediately went to a man. The Birds weren't ready for it. That got Indiana State back into this game early in this half.
That's your Marcia Wireless call of the game. Illinois State trying to break some pressure. They can't. They travel after a make by Indiana State. It's 43-38. With 16:13 to play. Check that, it's 43-40.
Well, you can feel a little tension by Illinois State against that press. They're changing their tempo more than they really want to, and that's exactly what the press should do.
Beglin head to the key, left side. This is Hall on the baseline. And a turnover against Indiana State. Both teams have turned it over a bunch in this game. A whistle and a foul. And it looks like that will go against Shelton.
I think Thatcher thought she had that and just didn't quite get there in time, but Shelton definitely doesn't handle the ball as well with both hands, and that makes her pretty vulnerable in this press.
McCormick. Now to Shelton. Here's Shelton. Good move inside.
That's Amber Shelton's strength, is dribble penetration. She had a tremendous high school career in Illinois, took her team to the finals in both Class A and AA.
Three-time All-State as well. Well, that's a deep three. Paul trying to keep it alive, and it's back to Illinois State. We step aside. Illinois State at home leads this ball game 45-40. 45-40, Illinois State on top of Indiana State. Redbirds with the basketball. McCormick break the pressure pretty easily that time. McCracken. She's got it on the baseline. Get out of bounds. The good hands inside of Beglin.
Boy, she's sneaky, coming up behind people a lot when you think you've got her beat, and she's right there.
No stranger to steals is Miss Beglin. Averaging 5 a game. Already with 2 in this ball game. McCormick from the left side and hits the 3. And just like that, the lead is back to 8.
I'll tell you what, that three-pointer is such a momentum shot in the women's game. Almost to the women's game what a dunk is to the guys.
A 3, no good. Pulled away by Michelle Herricus. Here's McCormick at the head of the key. Man-to-man by Indiana State. McCormick left side in front of her own bench with 10 on the shot clock. Inside and a block. That'll go against Rudolphi, the NBC newcomer of the week. And a two-shot foul.
That got, oh, it did get called on Rudolphi. I thought maybe they called that on Verhoff coming in on the other side.
And Sophie Tirtuo, the senior from Belgium, will go to the line. Prior to this game, she had not scored.
Yeah, she was 0 for 4 from the field for the season. And now she is 3 for 4 and doing fine at the line.
Perfect from the line so far. 9 points in this game. 14:22 to play. And a chance to get this thing back to a 10-point lead. It just seemed like a couple of minutes ago, Indiana State had a chance to take the lead with a free throw. And they tied it up, and it's a 10-point lead, 50-40. This is the third time that Illinois State has been up by 10.
Well, again, I think you got to credit that three-point shot. It just makes such a difference.
Foul underneath. Tirtuo will be whistled for that foul.
The Redbird staff ought to be hoping that Tirtuo's family would come visit more often. She's putting on a show for them.
Off the inbound. A 3, no. Wouldn't drop for Weddle. Back to Illinois State. Here come the Redbirds. Indiana State trying to trap at any time they can on the floor. Under 14 minutes to play from Redbird Arena, the State Farm game of the week. The Missouri Valley Conference.
Sorry, Dan. Illinois State a little smoother now in their man offense after that last time out.
McCracken makes it a 13-point lead for Illinois State.
For a potent offense for the Redbirds. Illinois State on a 15-2 run since the Sycamores had it tied.
That one drops for Ashley Clark, and here you see the three-point field goals. Illinois State has been on fire. The three-point shooting, coach, a big difference in this game. 8 of 13 for Illinois State.
Well, they've gotten hot, but like I said, they're getting used to this man offense. You could hardly see that, but Megan McCracken came off a double screen on that weak side that gave her that open look.
Indiana State, you look on the other side, three-point shooting, they're just 3 of 17.
And they're so much better at the line, at the arc than that. They shoot a good 36%, 37% through 20.
Good pass, good finish. Amber Shelton the finish. Now with 6. Leading scorer is McCracken for Illinois State with 13. McCormick with 10. Tirtuo with 11. Indiana State answers inside. Stephanie Lish, her 6th point.
Whoa.
Nearly a steal. It is a steal. Almost a travel, no call. Loose basketball pulled away by the Redbirds. You've got to whistle a foul, take your pick. It's going to go against Ashley Clark.
But again, Indiana State could not finish in that sequence. They get a great steal on it. Super effort by Lish. I think we're going to take a look at that. Well, it was still a great effort. Verhoff has a layup and just can't put it down.
55-44. Here's McCormick for Illinois State. To McCracken. Tirtuo, as she was falling down, feeds the cutter, Hericus.
Right now, Illinois State has 3 seniors on the floor. These kids have gone through all kinds of stuff, and it's a combination that's pretty comfortable with one another.
Indiana State can't answer, but they get another rebound. Reverse layup. Boy, that's pretty. Inside by Ashley Clark.
Clark is just putting on a show today. You know, right now she's sitting there with 17 points, and she is by far the go-to player for the Sycamores.
Clark 8 of 16 with 7 rebounds, good for 17 points.
Well, the thing is, she's been able to do it inside and out. Nice. Look at that follow-up on her rebound. When she gets the offensive board, then comes back with a reverse layup. I mean, she did that totally unassisted. She's just, I'm very impressed, and this is the first time we've seen her in the Valley, but she's going to leave her mark without a doubt. She's also playing the point of their press, and she's got a great wingspan out there that takes up quite a bit of space, and it's making it more difficult for this inbounds pass by the Redbirds.
Other games in the Valley, we see another steal for Indiana State. It'll be Wichita State, Northern Iowa, SMS, and Bradley. In the front court, Hericus, the layup. Under 12 to go, and Illinois State trying to run away with it.
Well, that was Sophie Tirtuo that tapped that ball out from behind that initiated that transition bucket.
Good ball movement here by the Sycamores. That one drops in there, just rattles in for Rachel Minpaw.
Well, Sycamore's doing a nice job trying to get the ball into the paint better, where they have been scoring at will.
Minpaw with 7 for Indiana State. 59-48. 15 on the shot clock.
Indiana State's back in his zone defense.
Another 3 knocked down. Amber Shelton. They are 9 of 14 from behind the arc this afternoon. In the lane was Lish, and she was fouled. We step aside. The MVC presented by State Farm. Illinois State is shooting 64% from three-point territory, and they lead this ball game 62-48.
And you know Jim Weedy wanted to take away the 3. You know, the last NCAA stats were December 20th. They showed Illinois State 10th in the nation at 3-point. That was averaging 7.6. They played Illinois, hit 16. Their average goes up to 8.6, and they're shooting the lights out at the arc again today. They've got to be one of the top few teams in the country with three-point shots.
Lish gets both free throws, now with 8 points. Under 11 minutes to play in this ball game. McCormick. Trying to feed it inside, and a steal for Indiana State. Quick hands underneath by Lish. She's got the basketball. Takes it herself. Runs into trouble. Ball is on the floor. And a foul. That'll go against Shelton. 10:36 to go.
She made that easy on the officials. She just thought she'd come right up there and handle her. Boy, Jim Weedy is just really struggling to find kids who can score right now. I've got to believe that's why he's subbing as much as he is, trying to find some combinations.
Sandstead back in the game now for Illinois State. Three is up and good. They're going to say it's only a 2 by Lish. She's in double figures. Foot was on the line.
That's a huge improvement by Lish this season. She was primarily a penetrator last year, but she has definitely increased her range.
10-point lead, 62-52. So we approach the 10-minute mark of our second half. Under 10 on the shot clock. Looks like a travel, no call. Swing it outside, another 3, no good. Offensive rebound, and the putback, no good. They'll try it again. Third time's the charm for Illinois State.
Katie Donovan just needed a couple, 3 people to go through to get that shot down. It's too easy when it was uncontested.
Donovan with 8. And a steal. McCormick had it, lost it. Wanted a foul, didn't get it.
Nice effort by Lish, though. Heads-up play by last year's freshman of the year.
Lish at the head of the key, spinning, lost it. Quick hands. Stanstead. All the way.
Actually, Stanstead, a 3-time All-Stater from Buffalo Grove High School. Very bright future for the Redbirds.
Approaching 9 minutes to play in this ball game. Look at that. Threw about 4 pairs of hands and right into the hands of Laura Rudolphi, but she was fouled.
Wouldn't you like to know who that was really intended for?
Exactly.
made it look good.
You know, it's a unique combination in this game, Coach. When you think about Linda Herman and also Andy Myers, 2 female athletic directors.
Well, it's even more interesting that they were both students at the same time at Indiana State and have remained pretty good colleagues professionally since then. Both of them basketball coaches as well.
Right.
Of course, you know, all great leaders must have been basketball coaches someplace in their career.
Of course, I would expect you to say something like that. Shocking that it came from you.
I know, it's just out of character.
How many years here?
Well, I spent 34 of them, or 30 of them coaching. Enjoyed every second of it except the loss.
Now you sleep better at night.
Oh my goodness, it's night and day.
I can only imagine. Chance at a 3-point play. How about this story that's developed? Perturtuo, the senior from Belgium, had not scored prior to this game. And now she is on the verge of 12 points.
Yeah, what a great story for Sophie. You know, though, I don't think that the coaching staff for Illinois State will be surprised that Robin Pinchton said for the last 2 weeks she had practiced exceptionally well. And Sophie is not a great athlete, obviously, but she is a smart player with good skills.
Can't get that one to drop. (68-54) in favor of the Redbirds. That's a hold. Gonna go against Ashley Sandstead. Time now for This State in History, brought to you by the Renaissance Grand Hotel, St. Louis. January 1st of 2001, Wichita State and Creighton combined to attempt a Valley single-game record 90 free throws. Shockers made the most of their opportunities in 89-76 victory in Omaha. The Renaissance Grand Hotel, St. Louis, the official St. Louis hotel of the MVC.
Well, you're not sure if you want to hang your feather on that cap or not. That's a lot of free throws, a lot of fouls called. You know, Dan, this has become a huge rivalry between these two teams, surprisingly. In spite of the fact they're not in-state rivals, they are travel partners, and they have gone nose-to-nose several times. Last 2 coaches of the year in the Valley, Robin Pinchton and Jim Weedy.
These two saw each other in the postseason tournament last year, too. That will go against Indiana State.
That's an uncharacteristic foul by Melanie Beglin. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Jim Weedy's holding his head on that one. You know, he said that following that loss last year to Illinois State in the Valley Finals, Beglin was really upset. And so I'm sure this is an important game to the Sycamores.
Under 8 minutes to play. Our MVC Game of the Week presented by State Farm. Illinois State is going to be content taking some time off the clock.
Well, and credit Indiana State. They're doing a good job in the half-court defense here.
Can they get it away? They will. Shot is no good. Turtuo, the rebound. Oh, try to draw a foul. They don't get it. Then she commits a foul. And we step aside with 7:31 to play.
The home of State Farm Insurance this coming year. He's a great guy, too. He's just a tremendous person and a great fan of the game.
And again, the postseason tournament on the women's side will be here at Redbird Arena.
Jack was a high school basketball coach at one point in his career before going into State Farm. And I'm sure, again, that's the reason for his success in life.
Of course, it's coaching.
Absolutely, yeah.
Beglin had picked up her dribble. Now she gets it back on the wing. Penetrating in the lane. Trying to draw contact. She did, no foul. Indiana State keeps it alive inside the arc. That is up and good by Rachel Minpong. Under 7 minutes to play. Indiana State still within 10.
They're not going to go away, and that was the 11th point for Minpong. She's beginning to really be very effective around the 10 to 15-foot range. Indiana State looks like they're trying to crank up their defense here, get themselves back in this ball game.
Offensive foul, I believe, is going to be the call, and it is. That will go against Amber Shelton. She can't believe it.
Well, the fans here in Redbird Arena aren't real excited either, but it's one of those things. I think Amber probably got her shoulder into it, and she did, as you can see. She can take that step, but she can't just throw that shoulder and elbow into the defense. It was a good call and good ball pressure by Lisa Verhoff.
Every possession now very important for Indiana State.
Well, again, Illinois State's got to be careful not to give it away like they did against Illinois, and that's got to be in the back of their mind someplace.
Lish on the baseline, penetrating. Fans wanted a call. They don't get it. Head of the key three. No good. Another three up from the right side. Rattles out. Turtuo pulls it away. They have the numbers. Great pass. Can they finish it? They do on the other end. Megan McCracken, the sophomore.
Nice feed by Amber Shelton, though, who's not really known for ball handling.
Shot up from the right side, no good. Illinois State pulls it away. And the quick hands. Again by Beglin. They lose it, though, back to Illinois State.
Well, both teams coming from behind quite a bit.
A three left side, no good. Loose basketball.
Whoa.
Illinois State has it. Now they just need to pull it back, take some time off. Instead, it's a whistle and a foul. I thought there may have been a travel, but they called a foul.
Illinois State missed an opportunity. Two Sycamores on the floor after colliding with one another. They had a 5-on-3 and just couldn't get an open player.
5:17 to play, 70-58 in favor of the Redbirds of Illinois State. NBC Game of the Week presented by State Farm. Glad you're with us. We'll be in Carbondale tomorrow on the men's side at Northern Iowa on Monday night. And that will be Illinois State making that trip to Northern Iowa.
Illinois State 7 for 9 at the free throw line. That has been one of their problems this year.
Offensive foul on Clark.
You know, Clark would have been fine. I think she threw that her right elbow into Turtuo on that attack. Yeah, she just opened up that arm. Otherwise, she'd have been fine. Good attack.
Turtuo will have a seat. 5 minutes to go. 70-58 Illinois State.
Indiana State's pulling their press back to three-quarter court here.
McCormick in a little bit of trouble, but directs traffic. The three from the head of the key is no good. A little quick with that shot with this lead. Verhoff knocks it down from the baseline.
Nice speed by Lish in that transition.
Lead is back to 10. Illinois State coach has done a much better job of breaking the pressure here in the second half.
No question. I think they've made some nice adjustments, and the players have taken much better care of the basketball.
We're down to 11 seconds on the shot clock. A timeout taken. They are given the timeout with 11 seconds on that shot clock. We'll be back in just a moment. 16 to play. 10-point lead for Illinois State. Look who woke up. And happy birthday to that man, Willie Cox, an assistant on that bench for Illinois State. The big 5-0 for Willie. Happy birthday to Willie Cox.
He's a guy that's been in the game a long time with a lot of different programs. Coached both men and women at the collegiate level.
How could we forget a happy birthday to our buddy Jack Watkins as well. The Associate Commissioner of the Missouri Valley Conference. There's Jack.
Now, Jack hasn't told us exactly how many he's got racked up yet.
Oh, I know.
Okay, let's hear it.
The big 4-2.
Oh, he's just a puppy.
McCormick at the line.
He's going to get 3 chances. You know, Illinois State has been shooting 58% at the free throw line. They're doing significantly better in this game. They're 8 for 10 right now.
McCormick with 11, 4:06 to play, 71-60.
Jackie McCormick's got a great story also from the Nez Perce Indian Reservation in Idaho. She spent her second 2 years of high school in Oregon to try and refine her basketball game and have a chance to play college ball.
Illinois State gets it back off the miss. Under 4 minutes to play. McCormick gives it up. 3, left side, no. Pulled away by Indiana State. Rebound to Verhoff.
Verhoff bringing the ball up the floor with Beglin on the floor. Gustafson is playing, but and certainly she would be the point guard on the floor right now for Indiana State.
Hericus whistled for the foul. 3:42 to play. The NBC presented by State Farm.
I think perennial favorites like SMS and Creighton are going to be challenged. You know, teams like Bradley sitting there 7-2, probably the best team that Paula Busher has had in a long time over there, mostly because everybody's finally stayed healthy.
72-62, 10-point lead. Illinois State trying to break this pressure. They can't. Spin move and a foul after the steal by Stephanie Lish.
I think that was a frustration foul. Lish anticipated exceptionally well in that full court press. She sees the trap form and she just kind of hesitates in the backcourt, just comes flying through there. I don't think Donovan knew she was there.
Lish with 13. She had an outstanding game against Indiana, 7 of 11 from the floor. Earlier this season, that one rattles home 14 points, and now they at least have cut this lead to single digits.
Absolutely, and you know, it's not over. There's no question. Indiana State's defense can create a lot of points very quickly.
3:30 to play. Full court pressure again by Indiana State. Shelton, who just checked back in the game, looking for help. Finally to McCracken across the timeline. Under 3.5 to play. 15 on the shot clock.
Indiana State back in a man.
Offensive foul against McCormick.
Well, good pressure in there defensively. That was by Thatcher, who was really up in McCormick's face. Jackie McCormick trying to create some space and coming over the top. She just catches her with that elbow. She's really arguing her position there with the official Cindy Knapp. 3 women officials on this game, which is really unusual anymore. You know, and I'll take this opportunity to encourage all young players to take a look at officiating when you give up your playing days. We need some women in the game.
Cindy Knapp, Amy Bonner, and Connie Pardo, the officials today. Now on the bench is Thatcher. She's bleeding from that nose after she got
really took a hit there.
The right hook. Good look inside, but a block. They're going to say it's a jump ball. And look who it was, right in the middle of things, Turtio.
Good help rotation by Turtio. Indiana State moving the ball much better offensively right now than they probably have in the rest of this half.
Still plenty of time for Indiana State. Under 3 minutes, 72-64. Little floater, no good. Pulled away by McCormick.
Indiana State keeps switching their defenses. They're with this man defense, and I imagine we'll see a few more different looks before it's over.
McCormick with 9 on the shot clock. A nifty move from the head of the key. Back to a 10-point lead.
McCormick's not particularly fast, but she's deceptive with her speed. And I think a good player has a good change of speed rather than is just quick.
Indiana State again cuts it to 8 single digits and a timeout taken with 2:19 to play. Let's turn now to the Rawlings play of the game. With 2:19 to go, a score of 74-66. Illinois State has shot 53% in this game and 50% from three-point territory.
Nice transition here by the Redbirds. They really got down the floor, and a great pass by Amber Shelton.
McCracken on the receiving end of that pass. She's got 15 in the ball game this afternoon. That's your Rawlings play of the game.
Nice control by Megan McCracken to get that ball before it went out of bounds and pull back for a shot. She knew right where she was.
2:19 to go.
Amber Shelton has had a great start her freshman season. Redbirds now trying to control tempo a little bit, it looks like. With that pressure defense by Indiana State, that makes it a little bit more difficult to slow things down. They just keep pressuring the ball. It makes you want to get rid of it quickly.
McCormick, 5 on the shot clock, looking for help. Has it, Shelton for 3. That may be the final nail in the coffin. All the way down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and they nailed the 3.
Well, Shelton 7 for 18. That makes her 8 for 19 on the season at three-point range.
Foul underneath. That will go against Illinois State. Big 3 for Amber Shelton, freshman from Wharton, Illinois.
Amber's got a funny shot. In fact, if you notice the ball in the air, it's a sideways rotation. And in high school, she really was primarily a dribble penetrator, but she has really worked on that three-point shot and been very successful. I mean, she's shooting almost 40% out there.
Free throw is good by Rachel Menpaw. 15 points from Menpaw this afternoon. Timeout taken by Indiana State. That's a full timeout taken by the Sycamores with 1:37 to play.
That will be Indiana State's last time out of the game, in fact. Illinois State with 1 60-second and 1 30-second timeout remaining, and I'd be surprised if they would use them unless they need to break the press.
1:37 to play, a score of 77-68.
Well, right. Timeouts left. The Sycamores don't, so they're going to have to foul to stay in the game here pretty soon.
McCormick trying to get through the double team, and finally she does. And she was fouled by Stephanie Lish with 1:30 even to play.
Well, and Indiana State trapping much earlier now in their press and trying to pick the ball up immediately on that inbounds pass.
McCormick at the line, 14 points on 4 of 6 shooting. She's 4 of 6 from the free throw line after that miss. Hit a couple of threes today. She's mixed in 6 rebounds, 3 assists. All around good game. Hits the second, 1 of 2. Not much time now for Indiana State. They've got to get it up. Through the lane, and that drops. Tough play for Beglin.
That zone takes up a little more time in the Indiana State offense as well. It takes them a while to get into it.
Offensive foul, Turtuo. 1:12 to go, 8-point lead.
You know, the Illinois State players, to get away from the pressure, are coming over the top. If they could come underneath, they would get away from that foul, perhaps. But they've been called for that twice today, and that's happened in other games as well.
1:12 to go. Off the inbound. Open look for three out of the inbound. No good. Turtuo, the rebound for Illinois State. McCormick looking for help. Has it. They get rid of it. They had numbers instead of foul. Time now to announce our State Farm players of the game, and the player for Indiana State. What a ball game Miss Clark just put together. 10 of 18 shooting, 21 points. See 19 on the graphic, but 21 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and a couple blocks. Ashley Clark, one half of our players of the game.
That's a career high, by the way, for Ashley Clark. Her previous high was 20 points. She's already sitting here with 21.
Turtuo, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals on the afternoon. State Farm players of the game.
You got to be happy for Sophie Turtuo coming in and playing as well as she had after not scoring the entire non-conference schedule.
Off the mark, 8-point lead. They miss both. Long three off the front iron. The rebound underneath, and going to the line will be Weddle with 52.5 seconds to go. They could cut this lead to 6.
Well, that took 6 seconds for the Sycamores to get down and get that shot up and have a chance without wasting time to get a couple more points here. There's no question, it's not over yet.
Weddle from Terre Haute. It's the first, 78-71, still plenty of time.
You're right. Weddle's another young lady that transferred from the MAC. She started her career at Toledo. She had an ACL injury there, decided to come back home. She's a high school teammate of Melanie Beglin.
And a steal off the inbound. Lish, 3 from the corner, almost banked in. Loose basketball, Indiana State has got it. Down to 44 seconds. Penetrating. Offensive foul, looks like. Is it? They're going to say it's an offensive foul that will go against Thatcher.
Nice effort by Thatcher, though, to attack the basket there. Again, Indiana State getting on those offensive boards. And we didn't quite get to the replay there, but a good call by the